I'm in Germany for the first time of my life. I'm in a car in the gorgeous city of Dresden singing a Hasidic Yiddish song. I'm singing it with Akiva, another ex-Orthodox Jew from New York. I had just met him hours ago. We are both descendants of Holocaust survivors, our stories deeply shaped by the legacy of Germany. I came to Germany because it's a bit of a story. I'm in a Jewish fellowship that was supposed to go to Israel, but because of the war, we were taken to Germany instead. We spent a week in Berlin on a trip themed on Jewish, Arab, and Palestinian artists.
Berlin in particular feels in many ways like Brooklyn. Also, it feels like everyone is speaking a version of Yiddish.
It didn't feel to me like I was really experiencing Germany until the fellowship was over and I had some time for myself. As a tour guide in Jewish Brooklyn, I get a lot of German visitors. I've come to understand through them how central Jews are to Germans, something that is so different from Americans. And I know that's obvious, but it's also a very profound and complicated experience to see firsthand. Being here, guided by two Jews and filmed by two German photographers, was a really profound experience.
Hi.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so nice to meet you.
Well, lovely to see you as well.
This is a very strange place for me, I have to say.
Yes, it is.
So can we talk about a little bit about you, a Jew from New York, being here in Dresden? Is that...
Of course. Make yourself comfortable.
Okay. I'm here in Germany, it feels like everyone is speaking Yiddish and the next minute they're not, you know?
For them, Yiddish sounds like a different dialect in German. They're like, you're from somewhere, but not...
Yeah.
Can't put it exactly where.
Do you speak German?
Yeah, I speak German. The first thing I did when I came to Germany was I learned how to speak proper German. So I started in Israel. I learned the first 2 levels in Israel still.
Oh, I see.
But when I came here, I would understand 80% of the conversation. And I could communicate on a basic level. But my teacher would laugh because I knew everything. It was just like the basic words, and the basic words we all know.
You know what I find? I'm not catching on to German dry humor. Like, people make jokes and I take it seriously.
Robin Williams, he famously said in a German interview on the radio show here, they asked him why he thinks Germany doesn't have comedy. And he said, well, maybe because you killed them all.
Can I ask about your personal life now? Are you married?
No.
But you have children?
I have 2 children here living with me.
From your arranged marriage?
From my arranged marriage. This was a very long and still ongoing battle.
Oh, wow.
Legal battle that is happening in 3 continents.
Oh, in New York, in Israel, and in Germany.
It's a big story, yeah.
Do you talk about it, or is it private?
Yeah, it's probably going to be in one of my next books or documentaries as a topic.
So tell me, where you come from?
I come from Monsey, New York.
Hasidish?
Satmar. My grandparents are Hungarian, Eden.
Uh-huh. The story of all of them.
Yeah. My grandmother comes from a very famous Satmar family, Sigit Satmar family from back then.
So what about you? Were you married in the system?
Yeah, of course. I was married. I got engaged when I was 19. I got married when I was 20. Had 3 kids in Israel.
You moved to Israel?
I went to yeshiva in Israel when I was 18.
Aha.
So I got married there. And then I left when I was 29 and started my life from scratch again in Germany.
Did you have conflicting feelings about coming to Germany?
I don't think at the time I thought about it, but I think in retrospect, if you want to go the furthest away geographically from our world, Germany is as far as you could go. You can't go further than Germany.
You think so?
Yeah.
I just arrived here, and in the train station here in Dresden, there was a Burger King, and I was like, I didn't go so far after all. If there's a Burger King.
We never learned anything about Germany post-war. Anything German was only Nazi related. German soldiers, German. My father will till today not step foot in a Mercedes because it was Hitler's car. My mother's not allowed to have a wash machine or
Really?
Yeah. Nothing Germany produced is allowed in our house.
But your mother was fine in the end with you coming here?
She was here once. She visited more than once actually. My father visited once, but she visited more than once. If they're okay with it, I don't know. My father and I are not on speaking terms now, so I'm not sure exactly how it is.
Yeah.
Life is complicated.
Life is complicated. So a lot of people who come from our very, very intensely religious world then want nothing to do with religion. You became a rabbi.
So I had that for over a year, where I didn't want to have to do anything with anything Jewish. And then I had a non-Jewish girlfriend at the time. And I came home one day, and she's a genius. She has a master's in Jewish studies. She's a Yiddish teacher. She knows everything about Judaism. And one day I come home and I see a cheesecake on the table. And I said, it's interesting. You know, it's Shvius today. And she started laughing. She's like, of course, I know it's Shvius today. That's why I made it. So we started doing Shabbos together. And I think I noticed with time how much the Jewish traditions is part of my identity. And I think that the main thing that we grew up with is not knowing what Judaism is outside of our small circle. I know it's important to me. I know I feel it in my bones. Is there anything that I still want to practice and still want to do? And if yes, what and how? And I found my way through various versions of Judaism until I found my own combination that works for me.
Would you say you're affiliated with?
No, I think in America I would be considered like non-denominational, or we call ourselves liberal Hasidic, which is like a mix of both.
Sweet.
We have very strong Hasidic traditions here, like the texts, the songs, the food. We study together real Hasidic food. We come here Shabbos morning before Shachris. We sit down with a coffee and we learn Chassidus. And then we have a mixed davening.
Wow, you have an egalitarian minyan.
Yeah. We have an egalitarian minyan. We don't have a mechitza. And as a community, we do not accept the halacha as a deciding factor of how we make decisions. People come here with their cars, their phones. It's a very liberal community.
How did you get to Dresden?
I got a job offer here a few years ago in the other community. And at some point I decided to give up my contract there and open my own synagogue. This comes with a lot of history, this building.
Should we then go and look at it?
Let's go for a walk. This is actually a train station. During the war, this wasn't a train station for people anymore. It was a train station for things, for animals, I think. And they used it to send all the Jews from Saxony to the concentration camps from here. This is where the Nazi Reichsbahn offices were. So we're davening now and celebrating Jewish life from the place where they tried to kill us.
Wow.
You can read this.
I think it says Matanat
Igud Hanashim
Hanashim Shel
Berlin. After the war, they found a cellar in Prague with 2,000 Torah scrolls. The Nazis gathered to open a museum afterwards. This is at least 150 years old.
That is so
This is new, of course, but
What was Jewish life like here before the war?
there were 5,000 Jews living here. It was real, developed, had a few synagogues. We get a lot of support from the city here. This building was empty for 7 years, and we renovated it with our own hands. I mean, literally. This is the kosher kitchen. This is people from our community literally doing these tiles.
When you inaugurated the synagogue, they made...
And this is made out of train parts.
Oh, let's take a look.
It's real train material. This is an easier one.
Yeah. It's a silver, right? This
Yeah.
is real silver. It's beautiful. This is very profound.
So ever since the 7th of October, we have police 24/7 here.
How long has the synagogue been in operation?
2 years. This is what it looked like about 2 years ago.
Wow.
So this. This wall went all the way until here. This was the hall that went all the way to here.
Yeah, yeah.
So we would renovate during the week. Friday we'd clean everything up, make a Shabbos here. This doesn't look like a liberal synagogue, right? If you look at it, this could be in Williamsburg, this could be in Bnei Brak.
I like the blending of tradition. I mean, this looks very traditional, and that
Exactly.
does not look traditional
Exactly.
at all. That looks very the opposite.
Yeah, but that's exactly what we are. We're a mixture of, I would say, extreme tradition and extreme liberalism. This is the memory of my grandparents.
Wow.
These two were Holocaust survivors.
And then it's paired with a rainbow tower.
So this is also a good example. You see a very Hasidic Atura, and it even has the Hasidic.
The Rebbe. I learned this in a video I did with Mendel Hirschpanet. Wow, wow, wow.
This also has like the Tchailes.
The Tchailes, I see.
Yeah.
Do you lead davening also?
Yeah. I lead most of the davening here.
So what is your synagogue besides a house of prayer?
Oh, it's everything because, like in the Hasidic world, the shul is not only a place of prayer, but it's where we eat, where we dance, where we sing, where we get together, where we celebrate birthdays, where we have parties. We do everything in the shul. This is actually an interesting story.
Yeah, I'm wondering about this.
The owner of this company was a Jewish man who survived the war because he was married to a non-Jewish woman. And we found it while we were renovating in the flea market in Dresden. It just popped up. The Israeli president.
The Israeli president addressed a letter to you?
For the inauguration.
I'm not used to this police car sitting
24/7, yeah.
outside a synagogue 24/7.
There are two groups in the world that are still busy with the Holocaust 80 years later. The Jews and the Germans.
Yeah.
There is something binding us, history and tragedy, between Jews and Germans. So this is where the actual trains went. You can see where the tracks used to be. This is where the future Jewish museum should be. And this is what the city's now going to renovate and make.
And they're going to make a museum here.
This is going to make the Jewish
Museum. Do you have a sense of security that history being so alive here will not repeat itself because it's so ever present?
I would say it's more of a mixture of optimism and being careful at the same time. I hope this time around, if it should come to something like that, that we would have to flee, that we should at least notice it in time.
Yeah.
Before it's too late.
Yeah.
After my tour of this transformed building and the cold, haunting train station behind it, I join Akiva for his drive to town.
We have authentic Hasidic music in Dresden, Germany.
He has an interfaith meeting scheduled with other faith leaders from the community, and I stay for a bit. I'm served tea, which is so nice as the cold is really getting to me. Akiva and his colleague bring falafel balls from his synagogue kitchen. It's fresh and delicious. I then meet Herbert Laub, the oldest Jew in Dresden. We take a long walk together as he shows me some of Dresden's history. A bench where Jews were not allowed to sit, sites where Jewish life once thrived before it was destroyed. It's a beautiful place, and I'm trembling with cold.
So it took until 1800 and about 1840, the Jews were officially allowed to live here and to have a synagogue. This building is a synagogue, and to the right is a community's home or community center.
For Jews.
It's only for Jews, yes.
Is this where the bridge fell?
That's the bridge that broke.
So what does it mean that it says Judenhof?
You see, Judenhof, this is a place where Jews during the Middle Ages lived in Dresden until they were thrown out totally, yes, and came back hundreds of years later. Yes.
All of this, though, which feels so historic, is like actually new.
It's actually new, yes. But this was a king lived here.
Wow.
This king from Saxony. And the university, the oldest mining university in Europe, you had next to Dresden. That brought the money. Silver.
A mining university?
Yes, for mining.
Today, Dresden has been restored. Its architecture takes my breath away. I feel there are ghosts of our past everywhere among these enormous towering buildings. It's a haunting, beautiful, surreal place of new worlds built on dreadful pasts. Life goes on, however imperfectly.
Dankeschön. Bye.